Good evening and welcome to the Rory Talks Football channel, your daily Arsenal news updates, debates and my opinions. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. We're on the way to 12,400 subscribers. And of course, if you could click that like button, I would be very grateful. It's deadline day. We're only, 18 hours away from kickoff against Brighton. And I hope you're having a good day. I really do hope you're having a good day. There's plenty of you here. There's plenty to get into. And none of it is good. None of it is good. Tom, Vivi, Vlad, Lord, Ferguson of Aberdeen, Woodsy, Adam, Anu, Brata, Pekka, Ethan, Udall, Saka the Goat, Carter, Sam, top player, K, hyper protagonist, Cringe. It's good to see you all. Lukey's in here as well. Leeds Gunner. It's good to see you all. It is good to see you all. So, woke up this morning and I thought to myself, do you know what, right? Yes, we need a signing. We need an attacking signing. But if we don't get one, it's not the end of the world. We've got a quality squad. It'll be fine. And I thought, you know what? Worst case scenario, we don't sign anyone. That wasn't the worst case scenario. That was not the worst case scenario today. The worst case scenario today was Mikel Arteta rocking up to the press conference and letting us all know that Mikel Merino is injured. And it's a proper injury, not a, he's injured so he doesn't have to go on the international break. No, he's actually injured and will be out for weeks, potentially months. So if you weren't aware, Mikel Arteta, speaking in the press conference today, said, very unfortunate. Yesterday, he had a collision and he's got a shoulder injury. He looks like he's going to be out for a few weeks. His first session with us. He was really excited. We were all really excited. He landed on the floor. Gabby landed on top of him. And it looks like he's got a small fracture, probably. We have to see on the recovery timescale. He was in so much pain. We have to wait and see with the staff to do some more tests. And they will have more conclusive answers. Okay. That's good. That's a good start to the day. I mean, seriously. We bought the best duel winner in the entirety of Europe. And we injured him in his first duel. Trixie, thank you very, very much for the £2 super chat. If we get Gyökeres, I'll shave all my hair off. Well, same. Yeah. Basically, Big Gabby saw this Mikel Merino fella coming in and thought, you're the best at winning duels in Europe, are you? How about this for a duel? And absolutely flattened him. So look, Merino's out injured. If he's, by the way, and I don't want to be like a doom bringer, I don't want to be negative. If Merino has fractured his shoulder, you're talking months. It's not the same as if you fracture your arm. Shoulders are horrible. They're horrible to repair. They take a long time to properly heal. And if he's fractured his shoulder, you're talking minimum 2 months. So we hope it's not that, but we don't know for sure. The worst thing is, right, if Arsenal knew how bad today was going to be in the transfer market, I think they might have undersold the significance of the injury so that the fan base doesn't have a complete meltdown. Not that that's helped, because the fan base is having a complete meltdown. At least it ain't his leg. I mean, I suppose so. We can't speculate on timescales, but yeah, it's not ideal. It's really, really not ideal. Outside of that, Mikel Arteta on Jesus' fitness. He's progressing really well. He had a muscle injury and he's doing quite a lot of stuff already. We expect him to be back with us soon, but he will not be in contention to face Brighton tomorrow. Excuse me. And then another one, which is just irritating. Mikel Arteta on how long Takahiro Tomiyasu will be out for. At the moment, it's difficult to say. It's slow. The process of the first phase of his injury. It's probably for the medical team to say more than that, but he's not done any training yet. So this calf injury, supposedly, to Tomiyasu that was going to keep him out for a couple of weeks originally, is such a significant injury. It happened over a month ago, right? Because it happened before the team went on tour. So it happened over a month ago, and he's still not done any training and is in phase 1 of his recovery. What is that? What sort of an injury is that? Surely if that's it must be his knee, not his calf. It can't be his calf, unless his calf has literally fallen off his body. It can't be his calf. So Tomiyasu's out for the foreseeable. Now, honestly, that's not the end of the world. That was just the icing on top of a steaming pile of shit. That's not the end of the world. Because we've got Calafiori, we've got Kivior, we've got Timber, we've got Zinchenko, right? Not the end of the world, but we do need to sell him. But the Merino injury is very bad. Rory, can you please not make this day any worse, please? Is there anything positive to talk about? Positives to talk about. Well, we're alive, you know? We're alive, breathing. Reiss Nelson's going to get plenty of game time this season. It's going to be a good season for him. That's about it. Well, actually, we signed Neto. Not Pedro Neto, Norberto. But, Norberto Neto, I suppose, is better than no Neto. So we've signed Norberto Neto. He is cup-tied, though. So if you were to probably look at the one competition that old Norberto would be likely to play in, it would be the Carabao Cup. But he played for Bournemouth in that, so he's not allowed to play in it. So old Norberto ideally won't actually get any games for us. Because if Norberto is playing, it almost certainly means that David Raya is injured. So we've got Norberto. We're not getting Joan Garcia. Fabrizio Romano said, Neto to Arsenal, here we go. Deal completed for the Brazilian goalkeeper. Espanyol have confirmed to Arsenal that their final bid for Joan Garcia, which was €20 million fixed fee plus add-ons, will not be accepted. Arsenal either needed to pay the release clause or nothing. Aaron Ramsdale has gone, and we're not getting a third choice keeper. So our goalkeeping options last season were Raya, Ramsdale, Carl Hayne. Our goalkeeping options now are Raya, Norberto Neto, and presumably Tommy Setford. So how long is Merino out for? We don't know. Weeks, according to Arteta. But it depends how bad it's. Arteta said it's his shoulder and that it's something, it may be fractured. It's likely fractured. Now, a fractured shoulder will be weeks and weeks, but we're not going to speculate until we know more. Fabrizio saying that Arsenal will not be moving in the final minutes. David Ornstein said, as far as I know, Arsenal's incoming business after Neto is done. We're not expecting Sterling. On Sterling, earlier in the day, Mark Ogden of ESPN said, I've been told that Chelsea are prepared to subsidise up to half of Raheem Sterling's contract to get him a move. Arsenal have been offered Sterling. Juventus, teams in Saudi Arabia. He doesn't want to go to Saudi Arabia. He wants to stay in the Premier League. But that doesn't look like it's happening. So, yeah. And by the way, just to top it all off, Eddie Nketiah hasn't moved to Crystal Palace yet. As it stands, Eddie Nketiah has not moved to Crystal Palace. And I am concerned that based on the fact that we're not bringing in an attacker, Arsenal might turn around and keep him. Because I don't really know why that deal wouldn't have gone through. Everything was agreed. Medical had been done. But it still hasn't fully been announced or anything. Whereas if you look at a comparison, Ramsdale, that's all gone through. Southampton announced it. He said goodbye, etc., etc. So ultimately, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Ultimately, it's not gone well. It's not gone well. It's not gone well. It's not gone well. Look, the reality is this: goalkeeping department is worse now than it was last season. Defensively, we've upgraded the depth, but we already had the best defense in the Premier League. Midfield, technically, we've upgraded by bringing in Merino, but he's not available for the next few weeks. The attack, significantly weaker in depth than it was last season. That's the reality. No matter what way you want to look at it, no matter what way you want to paint it, no matter how positive you want to be, I am a very positive Arsenal fan. If you've been watching this channel for any length of time, you'll know that I am very positive. But still, when things go wrong, the thing is, right, when things go wrong and things go badly and we do things badly, you have to be honest about it. You have to say that you've done that badly, because otherwise you're actually just as bad as, you know, the fans that I don't particularly like that are constantly negative. The fans that are constantly negative and find the negative about everything, we don't like it because it's not fair, because it's not fair to be negative about everything. But you also can't be positive about everything, because then you are just as bad. The truth is, for the majority of the last 3 or 4 years, the vast majority of it has been positive. And that is why I've always remained positive. And I am still positive about the team. But this transfer window was a massive opportunity for us to overtake Man City. We were 2 points behind them last season. They've not done a huge amount this window, but we've done even less. And that just feels like a massively wasted opportunity. It also, in my opinion, in the attack, is just wholly irresponsible. Like, it's genuinely irresponsible to leave us that short in attack. It's not fair on Bukayo Saka. I mean, literally, Bukayo Saka earlier today, driving into the training ground, saw the Sky News reporters, wound down his window and said to the Sky News reporter, "Have we signed anyone yet?" He's desperate. He's desperate. And it's not good enough. And I don't think there are excuses. And the reason that I don't think that there are excuses are that the only excuse that people have got is, well, Arsenal didn't want them, or Arsenal couldn't get it done. Fine. Number one targets we couldn't get, or we couldn't get it done. But that's not an excuse. We've done that before. We pivoted from Mudryk to Trossard. We pivoted from Caicedo to Jorginho. We've done it plenty of times before. It's not Arteta, right? It's not Arteta's fault either. It's not Arteta's fault. I'll flip that on its head, by the way. And I'd say Arteta still hasn't signed a new contract. And has this window affected whether Mikel Arteta wants to sign a new contract? Because the truth is, he's not been backed this window. Arteta has not been backed in this window. Factually. We've made a profit. We've literally made a profit in the window. So if Arteta looks at that, you know, I don't know. Hopefully he won't. But I honestly think that Arteta is really disappointed, since he himself hinted about a new attacking signing last week. Well, this is the thing. So, and this is where it all starts becoming PR, right? And there is loads of PR involved in football. You have to understand that. You have to understand the club put things out to try and, you know, paint a better picture. But David Ornstein said today, after he had said that Arsenal's incoming business is probably done, he said, if it remains like this and Arsenal don't bring in anyone else, the feeling is that Arsenal will be happy with their squad. Okay? How can that possibly be? When we were told, when we got knocked out by Bayern, the exact message that supposedly came out of the club to the exact same people was that Arsenal felt like they were missing that X factor in attack. Arsenal felt like they didn't have the attacking power. So if they didn't feel like they had that attacking power and they've not signed an attacker, how are they happy? That's the question. Samuel Miliband, thank you very, very much for the £10 super chat. Please, Lord Ornstein, give me a Gyökeres or Williams bomber. It's not going to happen. He actually spoke about Nico Williams today. He said quite simply, Nico Williams was Arsenal's #1 target, but he didn't want to move this summer. It was as simple as that. He said it's not Football Manager. It's not anything else. Williams didn't want to move this summer. Why we've not even approached Victor Gyökeres, when again, supposedly we had scouts out watching Victor Gyökeres for months at the end of last season. So why have we not acted on that? It's tough. It's tough. And this is the thing. You've got to now, anything that comes out from journalists that's supposedly from the club, you've got to take it with a pinch of salt. Because when the results were bad, they told us where they thought we needed to upgrade. And they've not upgraded there. And now that they're supposedly saying that they're happy. And we know they're not happy. And we know they're not happy because they wanted to get rid of Reiss Nelson this summer. We know they wanted to. We listened to offers from left, right, and centre for Reiss Nelson. We negotiated to get rid of Reiss Nelson. And yet Reiss Nelson now is closer to the starting 11 than he was last season. Reiss Nelson is now... We literally only have 6 attacking players. All 3 reserve attacking players, which, right, if you argue that the best front 3 we have is Havertz, Saka, and Trossard at the moment, for example, Martinelli, Jesus, and Reiss Nelson will all be on the bench regardless of anything. Whereas last season, Reiss Nelson wasn't in the squad a lot of the time. So a player that we've actively tried to move on this summer is now closer to our starting 11. And we're trying to pretend that we're happy with it. We're just not. Rahul, thank you very, very much for the 35 money. Which one's that? I know this money. I know this money. I don't know this money. Jesus being our only attacking cover with the injury record he has is concerning. I, for one, am tired of finishing behind 115 FC. I agree. I do agree. And even if you go back to January, right? Go back to January where we were in a title race and we could potentially have done the business that would have won us the title. We didn't do any of the business. And again, the message that came out, South African rands. Thank you very much for the 35 South African rands. When that happened in January, we were told by the club, or we weren't told directly by the club, but the message came from the club to the same journalists. Arsenal are going to spend big in the summer. Arsenal didn't feel like the business was there to be done in the January, but they're going to spend big in the summer. 250 million to spend in the summer. Big signings. They're looking at Isak and Elise and Pedro Neto. What happened? Emili, yo. Thank you very much for the €249 super chat. I'm fuming. Gabby injuring Merino has pissed me off. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it sounds like it was an accident. It does sound like it was an accident and that, like, basically Merino fell over and Gabby fell on top of him. But what part of the process is this? I don't know, but I don't like it. Trixie, thank you very, very much for the £2 super chat as well. Rory, I'm pretty sure the owners just want top 4. Maybe. It is something you have to start looking at. We don't spend big in January. Anyone, I'll be honest, right? Again, I'm not trying to be the negative guy. I'm not trying to be doom and gloom. But the reality is this. Arsenal will not spend big in January. Because January windows just aren't big. We won't spend big in January. We won't. We just won't. iHeats, thank you very, very much for the €5 super chat. January is going to be big for us. We have to sign an attacker. We are so short on attackers. The difficulty with that is that it's even harder to do the business in January. Because if you're looking at and when we talk like big attacking player, you're looking at a big game-changing attacking player for Arsenal. What club is going to want to get rid of one of those players in January? They won't. The only way that they will do that is if you pay them mega money over what that player is worth. And Arsenal, as we know, will not. We didn't even do it with Joan Garcia today. We pulled out of the Joan Garcia deal, who we had spent weeks ironing out personal terms with him, but we pulled out of that because we didn't want to spend an extra few million euros. So, look, We can hope. We can hope, but I just don't think we will. Rahul, thank you for another 35 South African rands. The mystery German is still coming. I'm coping really hard. Yeah, I don't know who the mystery German is, but I've got a feeling that the mystery German coming, it may just be someone coming to watch the game tomorrow, not an actual player. Nid, wow! Nid has gifted 5 memberships to the Rory Talks Football channel. Thank you very, very much, Nid. And if you've just been gifted a membership by Nid, please do thank him in the chat. That is absolutely sensational support, Nid. Really, thank you very, very much for that. And Guna Paul as well, with a £5 super chat. Rory, huge fan of the channel. I don't wish to sound over the top, but I don't feel we have done enough at all. I feel this will be a top 3 for Reiss now. Well, Paul, thank you very, very much for the £5 super chat. And I still don't think it well, the thing is, right, top 3 it could drag us into, because I think Liverpool will be all right this season. I don't think we'll get dragged into a top 4 race, because I don't think there actually is any other team that I think will be that high scoring in terms of points this season. What I do think is that we are now further away from Man City than we were last season. I think because Man City bought in Gundogan, which really fixed the biggest hole in their squad, and we haven't done anything, I think we're further away from City now than we were at the start of last season. And that's a problem. Remember, Edu said be excited. By the way, right? By the way, we have no actual proof that Edu ever said to be excited. The origin of Edu saying be excited were some random fans in America that claimed that Edu told them to be excited. Like, it's the most word of mouth thing you've ever heard. So, you know, I don't think anything's going to happen tonight. To be the positive person here, I still don't think we're as worse off, considering we've still maintained the general quality of the squad, but hard to see a title win, in my opinion. I just don't think we've got the attacking depth. I really don't. And what are the chances that Havertz gets through another season uninjured, Saka gets through another season without any sort of significant injury? Martinelli's had a few injury issues of his own already. Trossard. Like, we're so thin in attack. We're so thin in attack. Even tomorrow, let's say we start tomorrow, you know, Havertz, Saka, Trossard. You look to the bench and you've got Martinelli, who's out of form, and Reiss Nelson. We can be positive, but it's not looking good, Brev. Devin, thank you very, very much for the $5 super chat. It feels like everyone is overreacting a bit. I know this was a really shit window, but I still believe in Mikel and the squad to be special this year. I hope you're right. I do hope you're right. And look, to an extent, I do think the Merino injury is making it feel even worse. I think the Merino injury is compounding how poor it feels, because now we're like, well, for the next couple of months, we're not going to have Merino either. So really, the squad just hasn't improved. But yeah, it's tough. Lukey, thank you very, very much for being a member for 3 months. Lukey is a massive supporter of the channel. That's what I've been saying. We are thin, and no way we get as lucky with injuries as we did last season. That's the worry. That's the worry. And you know, people talk about Waneri, right? Waneri is going to get some serious game time this season. But the issue is, Waneri cannot be the backup to Ødegaard and the backup to Saka as a 17-year-old. Like, we all believe in him. We really do, but that's an insane thing to put on a 17-year-old at this stage of their career. Guna Paul, thank you for another £2 super chat as well. Trossard is the only man who can save us now. I hope so. I hope so. Miles Lewis-Skelly? Yeah, but Miles Lewis-Skelly is a defensive midfielder or a left back that inverts. So Lewis-Skelly doesn't really help our attacking situation. Alberto, thank you for the $1.99 super chat. I'm going to rush Edu tomorrow at the Emirates if we sign no one. Well, yeah. I mean, if Edu shows his face tomorrow, then I don't know. There might be people around him. One of the games I went to last year, I was sat right next to the little section of basically friends, family, club, bosses. I was about 6 seats away from Edu, to be fair. But things were good at that point. Actually, that was the day we lost to Aston Villa at home. So I should have told him to sign Victor Gyökeres. I should have done. Do Brighton have all players available tomorrow? No. Well, they lost that Matt Riley guy. O'Reilly. What was his name? They lost that guy midweek that everyone was angry about. Let me have a look, actually. What's it saying for them in terms of injuries? They are missing Solly March and Matthew O'Reilly. So, yeah. They are basically full strength. It's going to be a tough game tomorrow, by the way. Like, we're so focused on this transfer deadline day. We've got a tough game against Brighton tomorrow. Genuinely. So I'm sure the likes of Tom Canton will praise this window. No, even Tom has admitted that it's not good enough not to have brought an attacking player in. Did you see that ACD joined Blackburn on loan? I wish we kept him as a backup to Saka. Literally, Amario Koscielny went to Brighton because he felt like he would get more opportunities at Brighton than at Arsenal. Brighton now have about 400 players, genuinely. Brighton's squad, by the way, is legitimately nearly as big as Chelsea's at this point. So Amario Koscielny is nowhere near the first team, and they've sent him out on loan to Blackburn. He'd have been closer to the starting lineup at Arsenal. He could legitimately have made the bench tomorrow at Arsenal. But he thought that it would be better for his career to move. Same with Cheeto. Cheeto's training by himself at the moment. He doesn't even have a club. Sky Sports just reported that 4 unnamed clubs are interested in Reiss Nelson. Well, I keep hearing this. We can't. Jesus. We can't lose Reiss Nelson. If we lose Reiss Nelson, legitimately, we would have one attacking player on the bench tomorrow. If we lose Reiss Nelson, and this is what I'm saying about the state of where we've left ourselves. We're talking about Reiss Nelson, who for a lot of the time last season wasn't even in the squad. And now we're at the point where if we sell him today, which is what we wanted to do all summer, we're in the flipping, we've got one attacking player on the bench. I do just hope the fans don't react badly tomorrow and still back the club and players, North London forever. Oh, we will. We will. I managed to finally, by the way, Jesus Christ, I finally managed to get my ticket for the Brighton game today off the ticket exchange. Not even joking. I spent about 3 hours on the ticket exchange last night and about 4 hours on the ticket exchange today trying to get a ticket. And I finally got one. It was relentless. AMD, thank you very, very much for the $9.99 super chat. Honestly, I'm done. The Cronkies need to get the fuck out. What a fucking joke of a window. We are literally worse off than last season. We lost what little mediocre depth we had while everyone around us improved. Wow. AMD is not holding back. No, I think that's the feeling of a fair number of people in the fan base at the moment, truthfully. There are over 500 of you here. So as Wills of God says, if you can like the stream, just pause it. Look, there is very little positivity around the place today. One positive you can put out into the world is just to like the stream because it helps me. Thank you very much. But yeah, no, look, AMD holds the opinion of a growing number of people. Is the reality. Look, I think we have a starting 11 that will compete with City. Absolutely. We have a starting 11 that will compete with City. We've got 3 or 4. Did I miss a super chat? Oh, I missed one. Lukey. I'm sorry, Lukey. I missed it. Chelsea in on Osimhen and Sancho. Where is the money coming from? No idea. Lukey, thank you very, very much for that as well. Yeah, I don't understand. How are Chelsea bringing in Sancho and not moving on Sterling? Like, I don't get it. And Osimhen. And by the way, Osimhen, if we're talking about could we have done anything this summer, Osimhen, 65 million euros, and Chelsea's initial wage offer was 155,000 euros a week. And they're confident that they're going to be able to find something that works. Where were we? How were we not looking at Osimhen if he's now available for 65 million euros, even if we put him on 200 grand a week? I don't get it. I don't get it. Alberto, thank you for another 199. Pepe/Will, I am back on loan. Who says no? Who's Will? Oh, Willian. Jesus Christ, no. No. We're not having Pepe or Willian back on loan. Let's just... genuinely, I would rather I played at right wing. It would be just as useless, but I'd have fun. So, Kaya Kainak has said Arsenal are opening... Sorry. What are we doing? Is that true? Apparently, Kaya Kainak is saying that Arsenal are open to letting Reiss Nelson go. Reiss Nelson is attracting interest from multiple clubs ahead of the transfer deadline, with Arsenal understood to be open to letting him leave. Okay. Sorry. What are we doing? Literally, I'm not having a meltdown, right? I'm not having a meltdown, and I'm not gonna go mental, and I'm not gonna... But, right, genuinely, let's just think about this for a second. One of the biggest things going into this window that all of us agreed upon was that we needed some way of reducing Bukayo Saka's game time. Okay? We all agreed on it. We all agreed on it. We all agreed we needed a way of reducing Bukayo Saka's game time. If we lose Reiss Nelson, having already lost Fabio Vieira, and Nketiah, and Smith Rowe, Bukayo Saka is going to have to play about 50,000 minutes of football next season. Okay. Cal's Corner, thank you very, very much for the $2 Australian. We must have something up our sleeve. We must. Right, okay. Let's think positively. Okay? There must be something fucking going on. If we're willing to let Reiss Nelson go, I refuse to believe that we are willing to let Reiss Nelson go without something being on the table for us to bring in. There's no way. We're not this incompetent. There's no way. There has to be something. There must be something. Rahul, thank you for another 35 South African rands. Now imagine Saka starts limping and we see Sago Jr. warming up versus Liverpool away. Sago Jr. isn't at the club. Sago Jr. is on loan at Shrewsbury Town. So that's another option off the table. Genuinely, we're out of options here. The youth players are out on loan. We've got nothing left. Unless we go down to the under 15s. It's insane. Joe Williams, thank you very, very much for the £2 super chat. Eddie to stay. Watch. Jesus right wing, Reiss leaves. Maybe. Where is Brazilian Marquinhos? He warms the bench in Brazil for is it Flamengo? He plays. He's on loan in Brazil, and he doesn't start. So, Tony, thank you very, very much for the $2 Australian. Why are we acting like we have 115 charges? Literally, it's insane. Fluminense, that's the one. Sorry, Fluminense. Rory, you missed my super chat. I'm so sorry. Where was it? I am so sorry. Samuel. There we go. Samuel, £2 super chat. Thank you very, very much. I'm so sorry for missing that. Managed to get 2 tickets after only 30 minutes on the ticket exchange. Well, that is sensational work. Congratulations, Samuel, for that. That's impressive. In fairness, I could have got other tickets. I don't know how expensive the ones you got were, but I could have got some of the tickets that were like 130 quid. But I wanted to hold out because I didn't really want to be dropping 130 quid on a ticket. Let's go back down to the current comments. Here we are. To be fair, Rory, you did say you wanted Arsenal to loan our youths more. Yeah, I did. I did say I wanted us to loan our youths more. I also said I wanted to buy Pedro Neto or Elise and Victor Gyökeres. You've given me half of what I wanted, not the full deal. iHeats, thank you for the €5 super chat. It's mental if we let Nelson go. If Saka, Jesus, Havertz are injured, we literally have Nwaneri, Trossard, and Martinelli as our options. Yeah. Let's get to 200 likes. Yeah, come on. Rack it up to 200 likes whilst we're here. You're desperate when Sancho starts looking good. Oh, God. Ornstein just said we're interested in Ed Miliband. Brilliant. He could do a job on the right wing. Thank you, though, Alberto, for the $1.99 super chat. Thank you. Ed Miliband. Ed Miliband's a Labour politician. So, Rory, I'm telling you now, we will hear when the transfer window closes, everyone will report Arsenal tried signing someone. I don't care if Arsenal have tried signing someone. I don't care. Douglas, thank you very, very much for the $10 super chat. That's incredibly generous. Thank you very, very much, Douglas. Reiss going, last-minute Gyökeres release clause trigger. I mean, it's the dream, but it's just not going to... Do you know what's crazy, though? I would, even if we did that, I'd still say that's left us a bit short. I would rather just keep Reiss Nelson and bring Victor Gyökeres. Because even, don't get me wrong, if we had Victor Gyökeres instead of Reiss Nelson, it would be a far better situation. But we'd still only have 6 attacking options. But it's just madness. It's madness. Trixie, thank you very, very much for a $2 super chat. Sorry, a £2 super chat. Arsenal restaurant equals order cake, waitress brings half. Yeah. Seen the reports on Nelson? Yeah. If Reiss Nelson goes, I don't know. I just don't know. If Rory keeps the stream going till 11 p.m., he'd have made enough money to sign Gyökeres himself. I wish. If AFC Max comes in for a few hours, we might get close. It's just madness. Nid says Arteta took giving chance to academy players too seriously. Yeah, we've literally gone from not giving academy players any time whatsoever to, oh, by the way, you're going to play 3,000 minutes this season. It's, you know how City slowly integrate them. Like Rico Lewis got integrated a little bit. Then actually he had a season where he was taken a bit back again, but now he's giving it no. Ethan Nwaneri is going to be on Saka minutes by next year. Oh, God. Ed will be warming up on the sidelines now. Honestly, Arteta might be playing that. No, to be fair, the midfield's still all right. The midfield is still all right as long as Partey doesn't get injured. If Partey gets injured, legitimately, which is, it's more likely Partey will get injured than that he won't get injured, we're back to having Jorginho and Rice and having to try and play them twice a week every week. Zinni. But look at what we're doing. Look at the solutions we're coming up with. I mean, I'm not far away from suggesting Kieran Tierney at right wing. Cutting in onto that left foot. It's how long is Merino out for? We don't know for certain, but it's a matter of weeks at least. They think he's fractured his shoulder. So, it's not good. It's not good. The level of incompetence at Arsenal is on a whole other level. But genuinely, I believed that we'd really progressed in terms of the business side of the club. I really felt, the business we did last summer, bringing in Rice, bringing in Timber, and then the sales we've done this summer haven't been bad. Like we've raised a lot of money and we're just not spending it. I miss Kozia Dubry right now. Well, I wonder how he feels, to be honest. He's going to be playing at Blackburn Rovers this season when he could have been playing at Arsenal. I feel like Lee Gunner, Northside, and Yomi today. Yeah, but the problem that but this is the thing, right? Today I am a little bit. I'm a little bit rattled, just a little bit. Imagine living like this permanently. Imagine your head was in this state of mind permanently, like it is for them. I don't know how they do it. I almost find it impressive that they managed to do it because I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. AMD, thank you very, very much for the 199 super chat. Just laughing emojis, crying emojis, and guns. That's, yeah. Alfie, thank you very, very much for the 4.99 super chat. That's incredibly generous. Amongst this absolute joke of a deadline day, your stream is the only thing to make me laugh. Love the channel. Alfie, I appreciate it. Look, we can all just laugh and cry together on this fantastic. Mob is saying Merino's out until October. Yeah, but they're just taking that off what Mikel Arteta said. If it's a few weeks, that probably puts it in October. It's not going to be. Some people today were saying, "Oh, it'll be fine. He'll be back by like the City game." He's not going to be back by the City game. I promise you. I promise you that. Ed, who's running a scam. Atmosphere will be horrible if Brighton score. I'll be honest, right? If you think it's toxic now, if we don't win tomorrow, it's going to be. I'm glad I'm going on holiday. I'm glad I'm going on holiday, because I can just turn it all off if I need to. It is a fracture as opposed to a break, 6 weeks. Yeah, potentially. But it depends what part of his shoulder's fractured. Shoulders are quite horrible. Compared to like an arm, it's not ideal. But can we have some guests on this stream? Probably not on this one, just because I haven't planned to bring anyone on. But I'm definitely planning on having guests on streams throughout the season, though, 100%. Cal's Corner, thank you very, very much for the $5 Australian. I was having a meltdown alone, but at least this stream is getting a couple of laughs out of me. There we go. I appreciate it. Look, we're all in this together, you know? And it's not often that we have meltdowns. We're not melting down. We are just observing what is happening. And we'll be fine. Genuinely, the Reiss Nelson thing is actually throwing me through a loop, though, because I can't wrap my head around it. The latest from Sam C reports, who's actually been very, very good on Arsenal stuff. Raheem Sterling's move to Arsenal is still not advancing. The winger is committed to Chelsea if he stays, and his situation now looks complicated. So, yeah. I just don't think it's happening. Unfortunately. And look, Sterling wouldn't have been, Sterling would have been all right. It would have been better than nothing. But even the fact that we ended up in a position where we wanted to sign Raheem Sterling on deadline day wasn't ideal. Trixie, thank you very, very much for another £2 super chat. Thank you. I needed this therapy. Love you, bro. I appreciate it. I really do. And yeah, I mean, look, I'd rather be on stream with you guys than just frying my head by myself. So Fabrizio streaming his deadline show. I can already see the here we go for Osimhen to Chelsea. Yeah. You've got to hand it to them, right? Chelsea are absolutely vile on the pitch. Chelsea fans had to watch their team lose to a bloody napkin somewhere in France last night. But they do get some bloody fantastic transfers. The amount of joy that they get out of the transfer window, it really is. It must be nice. Setford, Miles Lewis-Skelly and Nwaneri are in the squad tomorrow. Setford and Nwaneri will be. MLS, I'm not so sure. In fact, what's the squad likely to be tomorrow? Let me bring this up for tomorrow. So let me yoink this up. So if we assume that, let's just say we go for this starting lineup for argument's sake. You can put Trossard off the left if you want. But argument's sake, say we go for this lineup. In terms of the bench, you're looking at probably Tommy Setford as the goalkeeper. Because, so Neto signed today, but AMD, thank you very, very much for the 199 super chat. Arteta needs to start recalling these loans. I mean, at this point, genuinely, the Fabio Vieira loan doesn't look that sensible. I'll be honest. It doesn't look that sensible at this point. But yeah, so look, you're looking at Setford for Raya, presumably Calafiori and Zinchenko as the two defenders. Jorginho, Waneri. Is that it? Is that all the midfield depth we have? Or am I missing someone? No, that is it, isn't it? So maybe Miles Lewis-Kelly does get added onto the back. Or maybe Kivior then, probably. So it'll probably be... We'll go with 3 defenders, even though we normally go with 2 defenders. So it'll probably be Calafiori, Zinchenko, Kivior, Jorginho, Waneri, and then Reiss Nelson, Trossard. How many is that? Setford, Calafiori, Kivior, Zinchenko, Jorginho, Waneri, Nelson, Trossard. We're still short. We've actually got no... Am I missing someone here? Am I not thinking of a player? Wait, let me open the comments again. Am I not thinking of someone here? Oh, Eddie. Yeah, but Eddie's going. Oh, we genuinely just don't have many players left. we genuinely just don't have many players left. Jesus is injured. So yeah, Miles Lewis-Skelly will be in the squad. Jesus is injured. We've actually just not got... If we need a... Oh. We've actually just not got many players. The fact that you're going into the day after transfer deadline day with Setford, Miles Lewis-Skelly and Waneri, and then even then, like Reiss Nelson, who wouldn't normally be in a squad, an extra defender just because why not? Vindaloo, thank you very, very much for the $4.99 super chat. It just goes to show our owners don't want to get over the line. It's been proven for decades. Their model cannot win titles. You might be right this season, at least. But no, Vindaloo, thank you very, very much for the super chat. I do appreciate that. And Lukey said, I'm panicking. I'm panicking now. I'm panicking now. I think I'm going to lose the title. Oh, I'm panicking now. I'm panicking now. It is literally tomorrow. We're going to have a defender. We're going to have an extra defender for the sake of it because we've just got no one else to go there. Miles Lewis-Skelly, Ethan Waneri, and Tommy Setford. And even then, like Setford's only going to get replaced by Neto. See, told you, Rory, you didn't need to worry about players not making the bench. Yeah, this is my fault. I kept hammering home the fact that we needed to get rid of some players because we had too many players in the squad. We took it too seriously. Oh. By the way, genuinely, right? Genuinely, if we get one more injury, based on the fact that we're playing all of our defenders, based on the fact that we're throwing an extra defender in, so we're putting Kivior in there, just because why not? If we get a single extra injury, I could not actually tell you who would be called up to the squad. Because the next batch of youth players have all either left the club or gone on loan. Who's left? What academy player would come back or would go up? Salah? Has Salah stayed? Has I don't even know if he stayed. Yeah, he has. Okay, Salah Ulad Mahand is still here. I'm not even joking. Max Dowman might make the step up. He's currently 14 years old. Aiden haven't, but we don't need another defender. That's what I'm saying. We don't need to have Kivior, Calafiori, Zinchenko, and Aiden Heaven on the bench. We're not far from having a 14-year-old on the bench. Okay. He's a bit too young. Links to Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Oh, Christ. Are there actually links to Dominic Calvert-Lewin? I'm not seeing the links to Calvert-Lewin. Oh, God. No, yeah, Aiden Heaven's playing tonight, actually. Heaven's playing tonight in the under-21s. Skamaka. No, Skamaka's got an ACL injury. He's out for the season. Yeah, Chido Obi Martin's looking for a club. Literally. Oh, God. I do not want Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I do not want Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Anyone older than 20 and is a professional footballer, I'd take. Aubameyang return. Wait, what happened to Obi? Obi hasn't got a club because he's not allowed to sign for Man United until Arsenal and Man United decide how much money they're going to pay us. Oh, God. 2 people in a row say Chris Wood. Christ Wood. Yeah, Christ Wood is what I would say. Higuain. How have we ended up here? I feel like, do we not feel like this has happened? This has all kind of happened very quickly. Like literally within the last 48 hours, suddenly it's all a bit mental. It's all a bit mental. Feels like 2015 again. Ben Yedder's a free agent. Do you want to look at the free agents? Do you want to look at the free agents that are available? Wait. Free agents. All right, this is the list of free agents that are available. Here we go, sports fans. Let me just pull it up. Bum, ba, ba, ba. Here we go. Adrian Rabiot. I would take him at this point. Hermoso. Yusuf Yazici. Attacking midfielder. 27 years old. Martial. Oh, look at this. We could bring in Martial, Memphis Depay, and Wissam Ben Yedder. What's the problem? Dele Alli. Anyone else? No idea who he is. Adam Unas. Ben Charkey. Look at these. Baitiki. João Pedro. Not really the João Pedro. Not really the João Pedro I want. Yeah, Rafinha. I can't believe that Rafinha is actually still only 31. Yahan Bash. Isaac Success. He's not had too much success, clearly. Okay. Sergio Ramos. Okay. Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting. Just to add Arsenal to his resume. And bring him home. God, it is miserable. How have we ended up looking in the... We've ended up, genuinely, if you had told me that on deadline day, we'd be looking in the lost property box for footballers. How have we got here? We're literally looking in lost property. Exclusive. Crystal Palace reach agreement with Chelsea to sign Trevor Chalobah. Deal for versatile 25-year-old defender, straight season-long loan. That's a great signing for them. Trevor Chalobah's a great signing for them. 500 people, 200 likes. Come on, guys. Yeah, if you could click the like button, that would be sensational. Chalobah to Crystal Palace is a really good move for Palace. In fairness. Wait, someone said Ornstein. Wait. Ben Jacobs just tweeted, Arsenal and Chelsea have held late talks over a loan move for Raheem Sterling. Still no discussions directly with Sterling and unclear if anything will materialise. Sterling is open to Arsenal if it does. Maybe. Maybe it's still on. Maybe it's still on. And now we'll all pretend that Raheem Sterling was the dream all along. You know? No, I will take. I would take. We're on our knees for Raheem Sterling. We're on our knees for Raheem Sterling. This is where we're at. This is where we're at. By the way, this is only a random. In fact, actually, it's barely even from Ben Jacobs. Look, I don't want to dampen that little flame, but it is only coming from. Well, it's coming from Ben Jacobs, but he put handshake with Alex Crook. Alex Crook, I don't think is very good. Alex Crook is the same one that said we wanted 50 million for Eddie Nketiah, and he was the only person to say it. I heard this Rory guy is an option as he still has no club and has played some charity games. All I'm saying is I put a shift in at the Emirates this summer. I put a shift in. I'm available. I'm available. Surely if any player was to come in, it would have to be a loan. Is there even enough time left for it to be a permanent transfer? I mean, there is enough time technically. There is technically enough time for it to be a permanent transfer. Why is your voice getting higher with time? Yeah, because I'm getting more and more anxious. Please. I don't see us winning the league or UCL with addition of just one mid and one defender. Don Robbie just posted. Oh, well, if Don Robbie posted, it's signed, sealed, and delivered then. If Don Robbie's posted, it's done. No, what has Don Robbie posted? I don't think I even follow him. Wait, do you mean actual Don Robbie or just AFTV? I don't think I follow either of them, to be fair. Yeah, when David Ornstein comes out with when you see a David Ornstein tweet starting with an alarm emoji and exclude or EXCL, and it's not about Arsenal, it's just quite sad. We've got the Don Robbie, there we land. AMD, thank you very, very much for the 199 super chat. Oh, how we have fallen. It was a good 2 years, boys. It was a good 2 years. It was a good 2 years. Rory, are you left-footed? To be honest, I'd say ambidextrous. You know? I'd say I'm ambidextrous. Left foot, right foot. Pretty fucking awful on both. So you can barely tell the difference. You know? No, I know. I'm degrading myself there. I'm actually genuinely, I can actually use my left foot quite well. If I was on FIFA, I'd say I'd probably have 4-star weak foot. Actually, because you might not know this about me. I write with my left hand, but I do everything else with my right hand. So darts, right hand. Tennis, right hand. Basically everything, but writing I do with my left hand. So, you know, that's all I'm saying. Someone said there's breaking news. No, it's just Ben Jacobs. It's just Ben Jacobs news that there are late talks for Raheem Sterling. Ben Jacobs is the source. Ben Jacobs is the source. Should mention AFC James doing his walk from Brighton to the Emirates. Donate if you can. or retweeting is free. Come on, you Gunners. Yeah, you should. Yeah, if you know AFC James on Twitter, big Arsenal Twitter account, he's walking from the Amex, the Brighton Stadium, to the Emirates to raise money for charity. He started his walk earlier on today. It's like 100,000 steps. It's going to take him like 20 hours to do it. And he's raising money for charity. So if that is something that you would like to go and support, either by sharing it or by donating, I've donated to it. And it's pretty cool thing to do. Where was the money for Garcia gone? Like, I'm genuinely confused. You're asking the wrong guy. What an awful deadline day. Fabrizio been hyping it up, and now Osimhen won't even be leaving Napoli. Will there be a Twitch stream soon? So, I made the executive decision, because I've still got this bad throat. It's like something, to be honest, something is wrong. I nearly died on stream yesterday, and it's happened again a few times today. So something is wrong. I'm going to wait until I'm going on holiday. And if it's still like that after the holiday, I'm going to go to the doctors and see if I'm going to die. And at that point, Twitch streams will return. I mean, literally, there's no doubt. Tonight, we might come back for another YouTube stream tonight. So I might come back. I'm thinking maybe come back at like 10 p.m. So in a couple, 2.5 hours time, come back and we'll see out the transfer window on stream on here. When do you get back? Just before the Tottenham game. Literally, I'm just on holiday for the international break. I thought mentally, I can't do an international break, not another one. So I'm going on holiday instead. But I'll be back. I'll be back at the end of the international break. But yeah, look, I massively appreciate the support, by the way. There have been 33 super chats this stream, which is unbelievable support. The likes on the stream are massive. And yeah, I thank you all for watching. I'm gonna come back. We'll go live at 10. We'll go live at 10 to see through the deadline here on YouTube. But until then, or if you're not coming back later on, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic evening. I appreciate all the support. And hopefully Arsenal win tomorrow. Oh, by the way, again, if you're not coming back, stream tomorrow. There's no YouTube stream tomorrow. I'll be live on Tifo for the watch along of West Ham Man City. So, Arsenal play, 3 p.m. kickoffs play, live on Tifo for the watch along of West Ham City. And obviously, we'll talk about whatever happened in the Arsenal game as well. So that's tomorrow. Link to Tifo is down in the description. Use the code Rory, RORY, full caps, if you've not been on Tifo before. But look, I'm going to be back at 10 p.m. So it's goodbye, but not a farewell. Goodbye.